Alright guys, welcome back to another episode with Just Vanning. This is a slightly different episode. We've been inundated with when are we bringing out the Canopy build on our Chevy. So we thought, because it's coming up to a bit of the Christmas period, and a lot of people have a bit of time off, and they're possibly either getting away, spending time with friends and family, or they've got a couple of projects on at home, and one of them might be, hey, I want to redo my Canopy, or I want to change up something on Canopy, or add something to the Canopy through their time off around the Christmas period, or even put some of the stuff that we've done on their Christmas shopping list. So we actually built this Canopy a couple of months back already, and what we wanted to do was we actually wanted to use the Canopy for a bit to see actually if we've done a good enough job and what we would do differently, or what we would change or add to our Canopy. So yeah, let's jump straight into it. We're going to throw you back to when we were doing a bit of building. You can see we had jumpers on because we're in Melbourne, and then we'll jump back to currently and let's talk about it.
Proudly brought to you by iCheck TPMS.
So if you haven't yet seen, we'll put it up in the top right corner, we put the Canopy on. But now I've had a few days to think about the rear setup on how we're going to do this. I've actually made it, I've took it apart, I made it again, I took it apart, but I think I finally found something. So we're currently in Melbourne. The weather has been absolutely terrible for the last sort of 8 days. It's not a whinge, just explaining. If you want to follow us on a day-to-day basis, go over to our Instagram or Facebook, give us a follow there, and you can see sort of we put stories up on things that happened daily, photos, reels, etc. It's pretty cool. I will try and talk a bit louder on the rear camera. So up to date, we've got the Canopy on, that bins in. We haven't done anything with that. Now I've gone for an XTM pull-out kitchen alongside an XTM drawer. This one's not quite installed 100% with sort of this side piece on here, just to finish it off. And the idea here is put the boat motor slide on top of this, so we can carry the outboard motor still with us, because we're thinking our sort of travels next year are going to be slightly different, where we're going to be going away in the ute alone maybe a few times. So on this side we've got to put a fridge and some sort of power in here, and then yes, we'll use that access point to the back. I'm only going to put stuff in the back that we really don't need to get to every single day. It's a lot more space than what we had in our 79 Land Cruiser Canopy, because obviously the tray is a lot longer, a lot wider, a lot higher. So I'm just basically going to put stuff in here that, well, you know, we sort of had in there, which wasn't a lot. Now we've had a delivery. Excuse the mess. Our fridge has arrived, so we've gone for this time for a Dometic NRX 115, and hopefully, and you can see the max trucks are falling down from the wind. We've got to fit max trucks. We've got to make sure also that our boat loader is 100% secure, boat's on its way, and I hope my measurements between here and here are right for that size fridge. And also you got to remember the height. But what we always forget on a tub Canopy is I've got a little bend in the corner here. Oh, hang on. I've got to make sure I miss that. And also what I forgot is the upright needs to miss the top here. So the fridge might actually have to sit back a little bit, because this one here is bolted in. This one here we're still fiddling around with, but this is the main aim of the game here now. I've got the motor slide. So we're going to actually, I'll go through it in a minute, but that's what we're going to try and do. So fridge, power over here, haven't got that yet. It's busy being built, and it's on its way to put in here, so it's all accessible. And then I'm thinking the battery is going to go down the side here, so when that arrives, we'll put that in. But I think to start with, I want to actually measure this fridge. It's just literally arrived today, and I want to check before we go too far that my idea is going to work here. Oh, shivers. The idea is just to check my height, get the actual fridge, sit it on the ground, see how I'm going to maneuver it in there, possibly even pick it up and put it on and see what we got to play with, because I need to put a surround around the fridge because of the corrugations and stuff, and find a way to mount it. Oh, I do like the new Dometic look. This is actually really good. I actually really love this. Check this. But it's no more like, it's a real like gunmetal look to it. This is 115 litres. So, and get someone to help me lift it out of there. Bob, what are you doing, mate? No, stop that. Your gums, mate. Oh, okay. Definitely need to read the I haven't seen instructions, but look, they've actually got some. I reckon that's got to do with mounting it. I want to drop it or scratch it. Basically, you take it out, measure it, maybe bring it over here, measure it. I wonder if I can put it up here on top of this thing so I can work with it. Yes. Okay, got it up. It's obviously a film on here, so don't worry about that. I have to change the door orientation. So this one opens up this way. Look at that nice size. That's a really nice size, 315 litre. There we go. A little bit of freezer space like they normally do. There's none that have got a lot of freezer space. 2 little drawers. That's going to be perfect for us. Probably get a slab of beer and some cold drinks in here and some wine. And then hopefully next year's little few trips without the van, take our groceries. I don't know, this is quite fancy, never seen something like that, but I'm well impressed with that so far. So we're quite short, or at least Sue is. Like, the car's at a pretty level area. I reckon I could get to the fridge, but getting to the back of the fridge could be a little bit of a challenge, because we've got the tailgate. So this pull-out kitchen, the fridge part actually slides. So the idea is to mount the fridge on top of this, which is, it is for a fridge, but for I don't know, not an upright fridge, like a chest fridge. And you'll be able to pull it, and you'll be able to get to the fridge. It's a little bit dirty in here. And then underneath this, we've got a full pull-out table, comes all the way out, and then another section. So I think you can see where we're trying to go with this. So now I'm going to get this fridge up onto here, because I might have to build a little shelf to get this here the same height as this. Excuse me, I've had the man flu. So that the door of the fridge can miss this. So yeah, there's a bit of fiddling. Let's have a look. I've got this thing. Cordless thing. Hey, have a go at that. Just fits in. You can see my idea here. It's not going in because I'm still going to lift it, but it's because it's fallen a bit. I just wanted to get an idea of what's going on. Obviously this is very temperamental. It's probably a better idea if I just get this installed a bit better. That's actually is going to cause me a bit of drama. Okay, new day. sorry about the weather, but we have decided if we sit around and wait for the weather, we'll get nothing done. You just sort of got to push through.
It's all right. It's a beautiful Melbourne morning. We've got a bit of wind.
Well, yeah.
Going on, but we'll see how we go.
Yeah, we just got to push through. So I've got all the materials to get this hopefully done today. We have got a lot of rain coming this afternoon. So Sue is here to help me.
Morning.
So we're going to try and fix, I think we just go back. We're going to try and fix the situation here to get this side down. So that way I've actually got to strip it all the way back and then have a look at our little pieces, put them together, see what's going on, fix that first. Then we're going to do the uprights, the top, carpet it. Let's get this. I'm concentrating on this section today. We still haven't got the power yet. Power's on its way, and we may need to shuffle some things around. So before, yeah, it's already starting to drip with rain. So I'm gonna strip this back quickly, have a look at the situation while we have a splatter of rain, because can go inside the shed and do it. You must probably be thinking, why I'm not working in the shed. Well, this is not our shed. It's our friend's shed. There's a boat in there. There's stuff in there.
Tools.
So we just can't. It would be really good if we could, but we can't. So let's work our way back here quickly. It's not going to take me long to move backwards and fix everything because we've got the time to fix it. And then, like, I'm also not really happy the way this is so wonky. We'll try and brace it all up. But yeah, let's get into it. Right, here we go. That's in. Looking good. All carpeted in. And the fridge slides in and out. The table's all usable. Now we're going to concentrate here. We've got to extend this slide for the outboard's motor slide. So I've got a piece of board perfectly the same width as this, but except it's longer and it's thicker. And it doesn't hang too far over the back, so I'm thinking it's going to be okay. So the idea is that we'll be able to slide this to a point, and then the motor slide will slide out and miss the tailgate like that. And we've got enough room there. It's all coming together. I do need to slide this whole thing over a little bit. So my workmanship over here, we're going to have to take this out, and we're going to have to come in about 10 mil, follow the line 10 mil. 10 mil, so I can just slide this thing, whole thing over 10 mil, because the power is going to go in here. And I can't wait to show you the power. The battery is going to slot down here against this board, and it's all coming together. We'll vacuum all that up, give it a good old clean, but tackle that now. It's nothing too exciting. I've got it cut perfectly, drop the board on, carpeted it and bolt it all on, and then the outboard's motor slide will go on top of that. Oh, I'll tell you what, my little friends, I brought them with me from central Queensland.
There are a lot of them.
Alright guys, so you can see we showed you a little bit. We didn't show you the final product, and excuse us, it's a very busy road here. Bear with us a second. It's funny, the flies are that thick here, and you shout at them like they're going to listen. But anyway, so let's start at the top. A lot of you guys have asked us a question. I've got Sue behind. I'm going to jump up. I'm going to show you the boat loader first. Now, we don't have the boat on the roof because I wanted to show you the boat loader and how I've mounted it to the smart cap. But through this episode, we'll show you some glimpses of the actual boat on the Chevy or Black Angus, and it's doing a great job up there. So let me jump up.
Do yourself an injury, mate. It's very close to Christmas.
All right, guys, so I got this boat loader off Facebook Marketplace, and it's called the Lazy Boat Loader. I do believe this company has closed. It's actually very similar to the custom boat loader that we put on the cruiser. And what I like about it, it pulls and pushes the boat without you even having to tug the boat, which I really like. And I paid $1,000 for this boat loader, and you can see why I bought it, because it was just at a good price. So there's the motor. So what actually happens is the motor turns the back bar, the roll, this bar here, which has got a bit of that nylon Teflon stuff on, and that pushes the boat this way, and then when I take it off, it actually pulls the boat. So that's why we like it. Oh, the flies. And I spoke to SmartCap, and they suggested this is how I mount it. So over here, I've made a little bracket, and on this join here of the canopy, I've bolted each side of it so it holds that seam together. I've done the same in that corner, the same in that corner, and the same in this corner. I wonder if you can see. I'll go across the top so you can see. So apparently that will strengthen the canopy even more. Now we've done 4,000 Ks, I would say, with the canopy on and the boat on, and she hasn't budged. So that's the boat loader, and it works very similar. It sort of comes down, and I measured it, it overhangs a little bit, and the boat comes off and on. Very simple, it works. You can't buy those boat loaders again. I get inundated with messages about it. I'm really sorry, but if you contact Custom Boat Loaders, I believe they're in Perth, it's almost identical, and they've used and strengthened it with using less material than this one, so it's a bit lighter. Let's jump into the finished product of the canopy. My little friends here, come, let's go. People are keen to see this.
I don't know if I can hold the camera still with all these little friends around.
All right, so guys, come closer, Sue. Can you see inside it? That light can get quite terrible. The pros and cons about having a tub canopy is access to the back. I will admit, it's a challenge, but for the price of everything, I can work around it. Because the SmartCap has got access in the sides, we can get to the back of the canopy. And what I do is I pack stuff that I don't use every day. Water bladder, my fishing bag, snorkel gear. It all just goes in the front or the back of the canopy. And that way, when we need it, I access it through the sides. So you come around this side. Let's start here. Now, unfortunately, we had the bin over here. We had to lose the bin for the out slide, the motor slide. Again, motor's not in there because I wanted to show you the motors and the boat is actually being used, and that little pin there is part of this. So this is the LMAC motor slide, and it's for the canopy. Hold that, Sue, for us so I can show them. So what we've done here is we've added the XTM drawer from BCF, and I've sort of put the side on, made this little centerpiece, and then we'll get onto that side in a minute. This is actually a slide, so this comes out, pull the pin for the outboard motor, and that way I can get the motor off and on, and then we flip it up, you put a pin in there, like that, slide that, lock it into place with another pin, and then push this back. So that would be normally for a fridge to go on top. And the reason why I did that is because I had to clear the tailgate. So again, pull it out, it hooks, pull the pin, slide it, and the motor comes down. And then that way we can take the motor with the car, and we can go places with a swag if we want to. And I think that is very practical for what I've done. It's not rocket science, it's just getting it all. I replaced the top piece of board to put a thicker board on because the top piece was a bit flimsy, and I think it's worked fantastically. A lot of people are asking us, where do we put the fuel? I put the fuel on top under the boat. I'll put this away. It's very simple, very easy. We've used it a few times now, and it's, you know what, it's working, it's practical, and it's not dangerous as well. The fuel I strapped to the top of the because the boat loader's got like a mesh where you can pack stuff. I put it and I strap it down under the boat, and it seems to be working. So we don't store the fuel inside. There may be a little bit of fuel inside the motor, but I do run the motor before I pack it away, and I unclip the line and let it run dry on the 2-stroke, because we've got a 2-stroke motor now. So that's that side. This side here, we're going with the XDM pull-out kitchen. So I'll show you the kitchen part first, and then what the finished product on the slide. So that comes all the way out, and then also it comes like that, and then it's got legs as well. So if you want to put something heavy on it, and one on the other side. So we can cook on here, we can prep food on here. When you go on day trips, we want to go places where we may want to leave the van for a couple of nights. We got the boat, the motor, and we got place to cook. Now this, again, simple yet functional. Is that the right way to say it, Sue?
That's the right way.
And then plenty of room. And then here's the finished product for the fridge. I can pull the fridge all the way out. So even if I'm cooking here, I can get into it. I can get to the back of the fridge. And I think that's not a bad thing that we've done here. It's like I said, it's very simple. It's practical. It's not that difficult. It all worked out. Push the fridge back.
And you've gone with the Dometic fridge, haven't you?
Yep, the Dometic 115 litre fridge.
Which is nice and snug.
Yes. And this all just packs away nice and neatly. And it works. I had to raise it a bit so it can clear the tail, the tailgate, this drop piece here. Now to the heart of it. So we needed power to power up, and also when we want to leave the van and go away. So when I say that, everyone's different circumstances. So if we have to leave the van, we may need still to run a Starlink, some computers, camera gear, stuff like that. So we needed some sort of power. So what we did was, we've gone with the new EnerDrive, the Voyager digital system. Inside this panel here, we've got a 3000 watt inverter with a 100 amp charger with a 40 amp DC to DC charger. And then along with that, we've got it all on the Cimarron screen out the front here. So this actually comes as a DIY kit. Wouldn't, you know, over the years, I've been wanting to build my canopies out, and I always struggle to find a system that you could just buy and pretty much plug and play. You've just got to run power to the system and the battery. You don't have to get all the wiring, and yes, it is nice when you want to build out your canopy, but if you're looking for something that's DIY, these systems are so they're actually awesome, because yeah, it come in the box like that, and all I had to do, I got an auto electrician to run the power from the front to the back, and he wired it all in for me. So it was a half a day's job, where if you build out a full canopy with DCs and inverters and stuff like that, it can take time and cost money. So this system, we've got, like I said, the Cimarron screen. Now if you had water tanks, you could put water tanks on here as well. So if you had a water tank, you can put a sensor to it, and at the bottom here, hold that in, turn the inverter on, and that way we can run computers, air fryers, induction cooktops, drones, charged, whatever.
Sleep apnea machines.
And anything heavy with a 3000 watt inverter. So if you have an aluminium canopy and you want to run microwaves and stuff like that, this is the big system to do that. You can also get the smaller system that's got, I think it's a 2600. If you jump onto their website, I'll drop it in below, and you can have a scrunch. There's many videos going around about the different systems. Oh, my little friends. They're all over. about the different systems that EnerDrive do. If you haven't seen them, you can jump onto the website, you can have a little look around, and also there's systems for everyone. So if you don't need the big power draw, you can go the slightly smaller. I think they got the Traveler. There's a whole bunch of stuff that they do, which is so cool. And then what's nice about this system, this is one of their newer systems, is the Garmin Switch. All right, so with the Garmin Switch, they've got an app for Apple and Android now. So you go onto the Apple store or the Google store, and you download the Garmin Power Switch app, and you go on. Now it's got 6 switches, so you can have some lights, some spotlights, any accessories you want. You can wire up to the Garmin Switch, and then from your phone, so you come around. This Voyager digital system, this specific system, comes with a light bulb built into the panel, and I can turn it on, and that's for the mozzies. You can have it red or white. You just toggle the switch there, and I can turn it off. So if I had, and I'm going to be adding a strip light here, maybe even a strip light on the windows, and I can wire it all into the switch panel, and I'll be able to turn it on and off. What's also nice about this, which I'll show you in a minute, you can actually use this on your head unit inside the car on Apple CarPlay or Android. And you must probably be thinking, well, what would I do from there? If you're running spotlights, now especially on the Chevys and the Rams, these cars don't have places where you can put add switches for winches and all that, like the 79s, the 200s, all those type of cars. And what people are doing is they have to put an alternative switch panel, like on the windscreen or something like that in the car, and that way you can do it. Well, you can do that all through the Garmin Switch. So I'll show you in the car, but you can add 6 accessories to it. Also, we got USB-Cs, USB-C, Anderson out, and a cigarette socket over here for stuff that still runs on that. So it's like sleep apnea machine, and then you've got all your main fuses down the bottom. So it's quite a nice system. And then, like I said, when we built it, we managed to fit the EnerDrive 300 amp slimline battery down the side. Yes, it fits. And why 300 amps? Well, guys, like I was explaining, if you want to use those bigger, heavier items, if you're doing overlanding or going on the beach and you don't have a caravan, you want to draw those big powers, well, that's why the lithium battery is there, and that's why we've put that in, is because of our situation. As well as we've got the caravan. If I'm running low on the caravan, I can steal from here, because this is a 3000 watt inverter. I can plug my van into the car and I can steal a little bit of power out of this if I need be, or I could run my Starlink off of it, or Sue's computer, or charge my camera gear, etc, 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 all from this. So I think for us, we've had it for 2.5 months now, and it's worked perfectly for us. We've already cooked out of it. I haven't gone camping out of it for a longer period, but we've been out onto the beach. We've cooked breakfast off the induction. It works. I've charged my drone from it.
You ran your laptop from it?
My laptop from it. We're even going to start running, because we just picked up the Starlink Mini, the USB-C or the Anderson 12 volt. I'm going to convert it. I'm going to buy the cable for 12 volt. And this little drawer in here is where we put the induction cooktop. It's a bit messy, and when we go away we can put cooking utensils and stuff in there. And I think the 115 litre fridge, I couldn't get any bigger in here, as much as I would most probably wanted a 130. It's because I wanted the pull-out kitchen underneath, and it just misses. So I honestly do think that this has come together, and it's actually practical for what we need. I think the only thing I would like to add to the setup would be maybe an awning. If we do leave the caravan behind, we've got no shade at the moment. So that's something I'm going to be working at. But I do think it's practical, and you must probably be thinking, yes, the systems must probably be a bit overkill, but I would rather have it, because we do live out of it full time. Oh, my little friends. Oh.
And we do want to be able to get out in the car more and actually do some sort of free camping,
just something different,
touring,
like,
that does involve the caravan.
Like, you know, small things like we want to go up on Fraser, we want to go up to Steep Point in WA. There's possibly some of the desert stuff that we would like to do. That's why we've got the system now to do it. So out of all of this, we looked at our budget and we said power has to come first, so we would spend our money at power, and then the rest came together, and you know what? Like, it's practical and it works, so I'm glad with that. Let's jump in the car and let's show you the Garmin switch just from inside the car, just in case you're a bit more interested about that. I'm going to be adding stuff where I'm going to be able to access it in the car, which is pretty cool. All right, guys, we're in the car now, and my phone is attached to my system in the car, and I've just put my phone in there. It's wireless charging. So I've got an Apple phone, so I've got an Apple display. If you have a Google phone, unfortunately I don't have a Google phone, you'll have a different sort of display, and I can go through the apps that work in the car. So if I swipe across, there's the Garmin Power Switch app. If I click on it, it's a slightly different interface than my phone, and I've only got the light bar that's on the system that it comes with connected, and if I click on it, it's on, and I can turn it off. So if you've got spotlights, anything that you wanted to operate from inside the car, you can actually do it. So if I had, say, spotties and I was driving at night, I could turn it on, and then I can turn it off. So I don't add any switches to inside the car. It's all via Bluetooth. And I'm sitting in the car, and the Chevy's quite a long car, and I can reach the system, and the system's right at the back. So it just shows you that it's a pretty cool system like that. Once we get a roof rack on the top, and I do put some spotlights on, I'm going to wire it into the switch panel instead of trying to wire it into my car, and that way I can, and if I have some on the bull bar, obviously it's a little bit more of a process because I've got to run extra cable to the back, but that's okay because I don't have to run any switch. I don't have to rip apart the dashboard or anything like that in a brand new car like this. So that's pretty cool, guys. But I hope you've enjoyed this episode, guys, and it's the Christmas time, and I hope you guys got some awesome plans. And if you're going to be doing some Canopy mods or builds over the time, drop a comment in below, let us know. If you want to know any more questions about our Canopy build, you're more than welcome to reach out to us on Facebook, Instagram, or drop a comment in below. But that's a quick little, I think it's turned out to be quite a long episode, but that's an episode on our Canopy. And if you follow us on our journey on YouTube and Facebook, you'll see us actually using this stuff more often. And hopefully in 2025, we can actually get away in the car and go to some more little remote places like Steep Point, Fraser, all of those kind of stuff that we haven't been to before. So it'll make our life a little bit more comfortable. But guys, thank you. I hope you guys are enjoying your December holidays, and we will see you in the next episode. See ya.